Guys, for now we go into PtitDrogo versus Lambo. To the top right hand side of the map, our blue Protoss player, currently teamless, is PtitDrogo. Took down this guy yesterday in the Clash SC2 Invitational day number 1. 3 games to 2. Red Zerg player from Clash is Lambo. I've been talking a lot about the Clash Invitational. I am going to be one of the casters for the Clash Invitational. Unfortunately, it's just not for the first 2 weeks of the competition. The first 2 weeks I'm going to be a little bit preoccupied with other events. I was already booked in for them and already had them scheduled. But I will be, for week 3 and onwards, casting the tournament as well as the offline finals. Very much so looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Me, Roddy, and Rhett coming at you with the casts of that event. Players such as Serral, Lambo, Laser, Soul, Clam, a whole bunch of players taking part in the Clash Invitational. Really looking forward to it. Had a great viewership on day 1. I think they've only got more to gain. Only got more to gain. Stargate starts in the back of this mineral line here from PtitDrogo. It's getting set up and ready to go in these early stages. We have a few moments just to kind of say hello to you all in the chat. Hope you're all having a great stream so far. It'll be a great day of WCS and the Limo League. It's been a banger in terms of StarCraft 2 action today. So much back-to-back. It's been so much fun. Just like to say quickly, of course, if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget the usual, hit that follow button. We're approaching 30,000 followers. The further we get towards that, it's super awesome, obviously. Also, you know, if you're really enjoying the stream, do consider supporting the channel further. Subscribing is a fantastic way to do so. We send out regular replay packs. We just sent out one yesterday, available to subscribers. We'll send out a WCS replay pack in the next couple of days as well. Some more replays for you guys. Lots and lots of stuff if you do subscribe. If you're a Twitch Prime user, you can subscribe for free. Helps us just as much as any other sub, and goes a long way to allowing us to continue producing StarCraft 2 content for you all. And of course, if you're just feeling generous and you want to donate or you want to cheer, all of that helps me to keep on being a full-time streamer for you guys too. Running events, casting events, basically being around all day long so I can cast, so far, 9 hours of StarCraft in a row, which is what we've done today. So, if that sounds cool, if you like what's happening here, and you can afford to support, please consider. If not, if you can't afford, you don't want to, then all I ask is that you enjoy the games and you sit back and, well, enjoy. That's what StarCraft's about, enjoying the action, enjoying a beautiful game. We are going to be seeing some Zerglings heading towards the upper right side of the map already from Lambo, having a bit of a think as to what they might want to try and get up to here in the next few moments. Twilight Council dropping down as well here from Drogo. So Robo and a Twilight in the main. And a pretty quick follow-up from the Oracle Phoenix into a very standard setup. Oftentimes from this Prism and a Templar Archives to go in towards the Archon drop as the next stage of this. As Lambo does not seem to be messing around too much just yet, dropping down his Roach Roaring in the natural expansion, getting that set up and ready to go. Phoenix lifts the Queen, but the Oracle does not make the dive in for many workers. Doesn't get anything at all. Maybe a little bit of miss micro there from Drogo. Maybe the Oracle was just a bit too far behind for some reason. It's a bit strange. Generally, you lift the Queen, that gives the Oracle a chance to get a couple workers over here while tanking Spore damage, but not Spore and Queen damage. And obviously, in the end, that was not quite the case, and Drogo was unable to do much. Drogo coming in hot on this matchup after a 2-1 against Zanster. His only part of that really went wrong for Drogo was that all-in we saw in game number 2, that Ling Flood catching him just a little bit too off guard. He didn't quite have the defense he needed to clean that up easily and to go from there. Forge finishes in the main base. Charge being chrono boosted currently on the Twilight Council as well. Allaire finishing up with the Evolution Chamber coming down. Means as the Roach speed starts, well, we get this ready to go. 12 Roaches currently in production. We do see this Queen firing against that Phoenix, pushing it off away to the right-hand side. As extra gateways get brought into play, it means that Drogo is just setting up to be able to start warping in cells and so on as well. Still yet to see any Archons. Did he actually ever get the Archives? He actually didn't, so the Prism didn't really do much in the end. I mean, Templar Archive still gets added on at some point, right? Because you still need Archons. They're a major part of your composition as the Protoss player, so he has to add that in at some point here. Just not going for it yet, and I guess with the lateness that he is looking to add it in at this stage, I would somewhat imagine that we're probably going to be seeing a... I imagine at some point we're probably going to be seeing a... Storm coming up pretty much as soon as the Temple Archives is done, so Drogo can just go straight to that. Look at Drogo's gas, he just has so much of it, and I really feel like that's just because he hasn't been able to warp in any High Templar. And he, again, usually I feel part of this build is to warp in High Templar to start harassing. As it stands, Lambo's just been sat back, roaches have been building, he's now got the Hydra Den up, he starts the Groove Spines upgrade. As he goes in towards the Hydras as well, he's going to poke forwards with the first few roaches, maybe get a bit of an idea as to what is going on. Just check to see if he can find anything out about what Drogo is teching into. But for the most part, I mean, he's not looking to be overly aggressive. Maybe just even looking for the opportunity to snipe down a 4th base or a unit that's just a little bit stray from the rest. A couple of oracles. One of them is very high on energy. Is it worth popping the energy to work his way through a roach or two? Not really, I don't think. As we are going to be seeing those roaches starting to work their way. Just through the rocks, I guess, opens it up for later in the game. And you know, if Drogo's not confident enough to come out and push these away, then, well, hey, it makes a lot of sense. We do see 6 Templar and warped in immediately. Means that 3 Archons ready to go here. Again, no Storm just yet. Hydra will be lifted up by the Phoenix initially. You know, Zal's going to have to pull back, realizing there's a lot of Zerg units currently just marching their way across the map. Another Archon being brought into play. The Phoenix has gone down so far. Stasis Ward setting up defensively as well. A couple of cannons also going to set up over here. Even more cannons and a shield battery now off over to the right-hand side. Archons keeping on fighting. First couple of force fields are good to block the roaches in, but the Ravagers in the back get rid of those force fields nice and quickly. Drogo looking for the defense here. Corrosive Battle lands on an Oracle and on these fresh Zealots, which means they go down even more quickly than usual. And man, one single Stasis Ward to the side catches a good amount of units. Will actually block Lambo from going up this direction, but honestly doesn't matter because the rest of these units push on in to you know, the space. It's just going to be GG. Straight up and simple from Lambo. A push which just a fireworking start, but unfortunately not really for this player. To the top left-hand side, the red Protoss player is PtitDrogo. Bottom right, the blue Zerg player from Clash. This, my friends, is of course Lambo. GLHF being called at the start of game number 2. I was just checking everything was going okay elsewhere, making sure didn't have any messages to reply to and stuff, etc. But it is all good, guys. Just waiting to see where this PvZ will take us. Just a little bit quiet at the moment, sorry. Oh, it's been a long day so far. Just taking the early game just to chill out a little bit, get ready for our next one, and get ready for this to really, you know, really start getting going. It is Nexus coming down from Drogo, obviously Lambo Hatch Gas Pool. Wait to see what the build will look like. I mean, it's Acid Plant. I mean, no reason for this to be anything different from what we really saw on the last map, Lost and Found. It's very similar as a map, I feel. It's very pathway focused. It can definitely be opened up by rocks. It's, yeah. There's some interesting opportunities here in this PvZ. Interesting opportunities. I guess just as this gets going, let's have a quick peek over at that TvZ, Bly versus Soul. Currently in game 1, because Soul's going for a bit of an interesting attack. He's just, oh my god, did you guys see that? That CC just finished in time to be repaired. It was about to have to be cancelled. Wow, what a hold from Soul. And now, well, obviously I don't know if Bly's really prepared for this. There is a couple of roaches popping out, but the first one just ran into an army. Let's go full screen on this actually right here, because this is getting actually a little bit intense at the moment. Going to be seeing the Cyclones. The Hellbats actually got cleaned up pretty quick in the end, and the Cyclones will be soon to go down after. So in the end, Soul doesn't get too much done. Keeps the worker counts even, but I think Bly may be available to go in for a big counter-attack here in the near future, because he has a huge army supply lead advantage from this. Okay, let's hop back into our PvZ. That was an exciting moment or so over in the Bly Soul match, though, which we're just keeping an eye on in the background to let you guys know if anything exciting happens with it. Adept is not really going to find much over here. And again, in general, these first Adepts, they're kind of just looking for information, poking forwards. He knows the third hatch is up, so... And Drogo just looking for a little bit of info here in these early stages, although nothing too crazy. Obviously, it's not really Lambo's style to be too aggressive in the early games of CVP. There's not really much to do in early games CVP in terms of being aggressive anyways, so... You're kind of limited to kind of going in towards a more macro-focused game anyways. Robotics facility is building currently on the natural expansion. This wall-off being set up. Couple more drones just in that production tab as well. A couple of spore crawlers coming through too. And there in the main base from PtitDrogo, a Twilight Council dropping down. Something that can obviously also go a long way to helping out in this setup. Again, nothing really out of the ordinary. I think this time the Twilight will get put to use straight away for Templar Archives. Again, Robo, I mean, is on the way up, right? 4 more gates already, so that is 5 gateways. Hey, what's up, ZG? Thank you for the host. Hello, everyone from ZG's channel. Thanks for dropping by and throwing the host our way. It's, I know ZG was just casting WCS Challenger as well. She's had a long day too. We've been casting pretty much the same amount. We casted together for Limo League earlier. It has been a long one, so hope you guys had some fun with ZG. It was good to see ZG casting some WCS stuff on her own channel. So hey, what's up guys? How's it going? War Prism is about to finish up here, so it's actually Glaives. I wasn't really expecting Glaives at all, not gonna lie. 3 more gateways puts us up to 8 in total. And Drogo is trying to fake out the idea of expanding and macroing, but it's Glaives, it's an Immortal, there's sentries being made. It looks like this is going to be a big all-in out of PtitDrogo here. And Lambo, well now he has to show us that he can identify this and that he can defend this. Making roaches at the moment, I mean this is what we saw actually PtitDrogo taking that first game with against Zanster. So, as he sets up here, it's going to be that setup where, you know, can he get enough done? Second Immortal starting to be produced. Is there a War Prism? Yeah, I mean, there's a War Prism on my screen. Here's me, baby. Is there a War Prism on the map? I'm literally following the War Prism. Aye. A little bit of a derpy moment from me there. But yeah, second Immortal, and I guess then you get ready to go across the map. 46 probes. The third Nexus, something to fall back on, but not really that you're looking to use right away. A few more Adepts joining up, of course, and now that there's 8 gateways, the Adept warpins should be pretty large. First Roach is just going to maybe see the edge of this prison, but it's heading back, so it's not really looking as though it's going to be aggressive. Lambo expands in the forward position with this 4th base. Obviously, that's very vulnerable right from the get-go. I'm not sure if this is something which he's going to be able to defend. He has just been making Roaches for a little while, but 63 drones, maybe just a few too many. A few more Adepts on the way up, and Drogo showing this for the first time. It's actually quite a clever build because he hides. He doesn't go for a glaive opening initially, so you probably don't expect a delayed glaives and Immortals, right? It's a bit weird. Corrosive Bars do hit on a couple of sentries, but so far the force fields are good, and the force fields are not being broken apart by further Corrosive Bars because they were on cooldown. Realizing he might need them now, we see those Ravagers being morphed in excess, but I mean, Drogo is already making his way forwards into the natural expansion. Roachron will be in trouble. It's going to take, well, it's going to take a lot of damage. It goes down almost instantly here. So no more Roaches to be built, and oh, well, the Corrosive Bars starting to dart around this army. A few of them connected, and Immortal in the front is starting to take some real hits. The Ravager Bars have already been used, so he cannot hit the War Prism just yet, and when he does start to fire, he actually misses the marker. And Lambo is going to type out GG. PtitDrogo's build here is just a bit too strong, and again, it's just something I don't think you see coming. Drogo Lambo. We'll give you some updates from Bly and Soul as it continues. That's still just in game number 1. We're tied up 1 apiece here in the decided match between Lambo and PtitDrogo, however. We do have to the bottom right our Red's Protoss player. It is PtitDrogo. Top left, Blue Zerg from Clash. Lambo. Game 3 of the series. Decider match coming in right now. Obviously, it's a big, important one. Just going to pop that picture-in-picture of Bly Soul up because I think this game's coming to an end. A big fungal just landed. Ultras are taking on the planetary forest. Doesn't look like the SCVs are there to repair. And it looks like this bio will go down for the GG. Bly will take that game 1 against Soul. And we'll be jumping into Game 2 of that to bring you more of that action as it continues. For now, though, again, we're focusing up on PtitDrogo versus Lambo. We are going to be waiting for game to really get going, though. And again, probably expecting at least the early few minutes to look very similar to what we've already seen. Perhaps something along the lines of a, Stargate into Robo Twilight. Again, Drogo's last build was very powerful, but I'm not sure if Lambo dies to that twice in a row, I don't think he dies to that twice in a row. I just don't think that's something that happens. I think he's just a little bit better than that. It's one of those things that I think is very difficult to scout, but now you know your opponent's likely to do it. It's unlikely to, you're going to pay a lot more attention to figuring it out this time around. Just in general, guys, this bracket, just to run through what this looks like at the moment. TLO waits for the winner of Denver and Harston in the qualifying match on the top side of the bracket after taking down a laser 2-0. Lambo vs PtitDrogo 1-1. The winner of this plays the winner of Bly Soul 1-0 to Bly. In the lower bracket, we've got a lot of rounds to go. There's a long way to go. Oh my god. So many matches to come up there. I mean, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 best of 3 still. It's a lot of matches still to go in the lower bracket. So we got action to come for a good few hours yet. We're at least going to be wrapping up this European qualifier today. We might even dip our toes into the NA qualifier depending on how you guys are feeling, depending on where we're feeling. Oh man. Bly just got cross spawns Doctor Sanctuary for map 2 against Soul. That's kind of crazy. Well, in a moment or two here, as we are going to be seeing this Adept on the low ground, we'll start to throw a shade up into the natural expansion. Drone's moving around at the moment. Zergling's coming along, and we will see this Adept just cancelling its shade. Just going to be seeing this Nexus is using a few more probes. Speed currently on the way up as well from Lambo right now, so going to be able to finish this in a moment or two. Queen about to finish up as well for Lambo as he finishes that Queen. We are going to be seeing an Oracle being built from Drogo's Stargate. Nice standard way to start this off. The first Phoenix obviously gets an Overlord kill, cleans that up already, so good progress there. Now we'll head back across over to the left into the center to see what the next sort of stage of this will be. So Phoenix coming around, looping all over the place, looking to see what his idea is going to be right now. Robo and a Twilight Council then. I mean, again, it's really what we expected it to be. But again, it's what does Drogo do with this? How exactly does he follow up? Does he go Glaives? Does he go Fast Charge? Does he go a lot of Gateways to just take the third base? Does he actually Archon drop this time? He hasn't done that yet so far. Phoenix lifts up the Queen, allows this Oracle to come in and start to pick up a few of these kills. A couple of drones going down already. Just a couple of Queens pushing this Phoenix back away along the left-hand side here, so Phoenix is pushed away at the moment. Rotron on the way up as well. And this time it is a very fast Templar Archives with the charge, so probably going to be seeing Archons in charge lots, a very aggressive way of playing this build order out. Let's see what Drogo can do with it. 3 extra gates, taking him to 4 in total. The expected number, of course, overall, because then it means you can warp in 4 High Temple for 2 Archons. Then you can warp in 4 Zealots every round of production, which obviously adds up quite nicely as well. We are going to be seeing this Warp Prism continue to head in towards the upper left-hand side. Again, we'll stop. Actually, warps in Adepts to begin with. Interesting. I guess a couple of Adepts cheap to warp in. He's not quite ready to warp in 4 High Templar yet, so a couple of Adepts maybe just a way to harass for now. It looks like he won't Archon drop at all. He just goes into Templar Archives. I mean, I guess the Gateways didn't really line up for it. I thought that was maybe just a mistake, and he was going to, make up for it by morphing the Adepts in and getting those shading. So he's just not going to go for the Archons at all, as he will commit for just 1 drone. Second and third drone both took 1 hit from an Adept apiece, but they didn't take a second hit to actually be killed off. Side Storm, 30 seconds along right now. Charge. About to finish up there as well. Robo Facility, Chrono boosting out an Immortal as well. All of this getting set to go. 47ers with the cheer 1000 in the chat. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the love, as always. I feel like you're always cheering bits when you're in here. Thank you so much. Oracle is here to defend the base. And fireworks are just like, yeah, Oracle, you go. Boom, boom, boom. Pew, pew, pew. Now we're going to be seeing those lings being picked away at. A couple of probes already under fire. But they will be saved in the end. Oracle gets the job done. That's what I'm going to take a guess. 13 kill Oracle. Oh, 14 kill Oracle. That's so close. That's 15. I'm even more wrong than I was moments ago. A lot of roaches being made by Lambo on the 60 drones. A very safe way to play, but also potentially a lot of aggression that could come out here in the next few moments. So, some possibilities as we see the roach numbers stacking up. And again, not going past the 60 drones for the moment. Just sitting tight on this. Yeah, momentarily. The roaches and the routers start to move their way towards the bottom right-hand side, though, so they are looking for some damage here somewhere along the way, looking to find just something wherever they can. Thanks another set of rocks towards the front. Wants to take those down, open up the pathway. Storm is ready for Drogo, though, so in terms of the macro game, Drogo is looking pretty good in that regard. Two Adepts going to move in towards the main base, and they will start to unload to go after some of these drones. Shading around, we have got the roaches and the ravagers continuing towards the bottom right hand side, and it looks as though we are going to be seeing those rocks being picked away at. And just a couple probes killed as the roaches make a move forwards. Lambo is 176 supply. He's still 58 drones. He is just looking to max up on units now, come across this map and try and end this game. I feel like Drogo's fairly well set up for it, though. The fact he already has Storms available, the fact he has Archons, the fact he has Immortals. These are all units which I think do a fantastic job of just completely shutting this down, really. Let's see here very soon. Lings and roaches go in towards these rocks. We'll be able to knock those down and again open up that little bit of a pathway here so far. First Storm drops, doesn't do too much just yet, though. And coming along down to this south side, we're going to see another Storm dropping. And another Storm dropping. A lot of roaches taking some hits right here. The Immortal's obviously going to be very good against these roaches once they're softened up. The issue is the Hydras in the back are still pretty healthy, but the Storm's now starting to land on those instead. High Templar will not get to become Archons here, and a couple of Immortals left over, currently unprotected. Has to kite backwards, but the Zealots warping in to protect. And now, that's unlucky. The Lings come out of state support. Actually get on top of one Immortal. Going back once again, Drogo just needs another warp in. He has the money for some Zealots, but not much else. Warp Prism is going to be coming back in an awkward position. Zealots charging forwards, but a bit ahead of the rest of this. Warps in some High Templar. I don't think he has time to go for Storms. I think he just has to morph an Archon. Maybe he keeps one High Templar here for the Storm. 58 workers apiece. If Drogo holds, it's a good position for him. And the fact he still has Immortals up is obviously a big part of this. There's Warp Prism being back here as well to help the micro is going to be a big deal. There's a few probes going down in this space, which kind of forces Drogo to fight into this army. And here we go, turning around, Zealots charging through, Immortals starting to fire. And they are picking their way through a whole bunch of these roaches. And they're still pushing on forwards as well, and they are going to start making their way through this. One Immortal goes down, another as well. I mean, okay, it looks as though it's probably just a bit too much here by Lambo. Drogo doesn't look as though he can defend this any longer. He's out of options, he's out of units, out of money. GG, Lambo.